An update to breaking news. Much of the 3rd Ward is blocked off, the public market evacuated after construction workers discovered a fire burning nearly 100 feet underground.
CBS 58's Sarah Barwatz is live in the 3rd Ward tonight with the latest. Sarah?
It's been a day full of traffic backups and evacuations as fire crews have spent the day trying to figure out what that gas was behind me. The good news is that the flames are out, but they still don't know what that gas was. It was an impact that no one wanted to make after a piling 90 feet deep hit gas that quickly turned into flames.
The pounding over and over again, finally something gave way in these old buildings.
Shannon Matson, a worker at the public market, was surprised when fire and police crews came in yelling.
Everybody needs to get out. So within probably 3 or 4 minutes, all the customers and all the workers were heading outside, and they're keeping everybody off the block that the market's on.
Crews spent hours removing sewer covers trying to figure out what the gas was because no gas line was close by.
This area more than likely used to be swampy and or underwater. What you tend to find in those areas, just like when we did the deep tunnel project here, was a naturally occurring natural gas, hydrogen sulfide, and a whole host of other trace gases.
But that brings little comfort to Ashley and Lori Haley, still trying to find a way home.
We've kind of been stranded here. We're having lunch, and we can't move our car out of the parking lot because of the gas leak.
So I have a brand new car that is sitting in the lot that we can't get to, so...
Are you a little worried with a gas leak?
Sure, I'm a little worried. Yeah, it's a brand new car. I'm sure my husband's not real pleased either.
Fire crews told the construction company that they now have to check for that gas to make sure it's not present before they can start digging again. Reporting live here in Milwaukee, Sarah Barwatz, CBS 58 News.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Last year, a series of underground explosions blew a 15-foot hole in the pavement near Jefferson and Mason in downtown Milwaukee. We Energies later determined a faulty electrical cable caught fire and exploded. That knocked out the power for blocks.
Tonight, new documents reveal much more than initially feared about the mishandling of child pornography cases at the State Department of Justice. CBS 58's John Coco originally broke this story. He joins us now live in the newsroom. John.
Michelle, at first, this was just a few cases that went long periods of time without reporting. Now we're looking at 43 cases that sat around for more than 4 months. One of the 2 employees who got fired as a result says this is a bigger problem in the Department of Justice that he's being blamed for.
In this termination letter to former Special Agent in Charge Will Brantley, the DOJ says from 2011 to 2013, he held 43 cases longer than 120 days. Other special agents were holding cases 60 to 89 days, although the letter doesn't say how many. The case of Robert Turk in Waukesha went years without reporting before he copped a plea deal. Most importantly, the letter reveals that some cases were never even assigned for an investigation.
That's not the fault of my client nor of any other particular individual within the department. It's more of a department-wide issue. It's more of a resource issue.
Daniel Bach is the former Wisconsin Deputy Attorney General and the attorney representing Brantley as he appeals his termination. Brantley claims the backlog of internet crimes against children cases was well known by the DOJ long before he was fired, and that there was never a timeline for cyber tips to be investigated or an internal procedure to make sure they were.
I don't like to use the word scapegoat, really, because it gets bandied about rather loosely, but I do think that the blame has been cast upon him for something that wasn't his fault.
State Rep John Richards is a candidate for Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen's soon-to-be vacated seat, and he's calling for an independent investigation.
We should have some transparency about this, and the Department of Justice should come clean.
The Republican candidate for Van Hollen's seat, Waukesha DA Brad Schimmel, has also been critical of the DOJ in this circumstance. As it's been in the past, the Attorney General has declined our offer for an interview on this story.
All right, thanks, John. UWM has a new interim chancellor.
And he is, drum roll please, Mark Money.
Money will take over as interim chancellor on May 31st. He's a professor of management at UWM's Lubar School of Business, and he's been heavily involved in the university's long-term strategic planning.
This is no time to take our foot off the gas pedal. In fact, if we let off at all, we will fall behind. We will not be able to stay in the all-competitive race that we have today on research, on our student success, on a number of different fronts.
Moni will be taking over, at least temporarily, for outgoing Chancellor Michael Lovell, who announced last month that he was leaving UWM to become the first lay president at Marquette University. 2 Brewers players suspended for an on-field brawl. So how is it that one of them is in tonight's lineup? CBS 58 sports anchor Kevin Holden is live at Miller Park to explain. Kevin?
Michelle, Carlos Gomez is in the lineup tonight because he's appealing the 3-game suspension handed down for Major League Baseball. Gomez can play until that appeal is heard and decided on. More on Gomez in just a moment. Martin Maldonado drew the longest suspension from the brawl, 5 games, for landing this punch, and he's not appealing, which means the Brewers will be without their backup catcher for the rest of the homestand. We did see Maldonado out on the field during pregame warm-ups a moment ago. The Pirates got much more lenient punishment. Travis Snyder, 2 games. Russell Martin, 1 game. And Garrett Cole, the pitcher who verbally instigated Gomez, got absolutely nothing. All the suspended players did get fined. Ron Renicky, who was using Elian Herrera as a backup catcher during BP today, is not pleased with MLB's decision.
The guy who started it all got nothing, and I don't understand. So, no, I'm not happy with it. Doug's not happy with it. And, but you know, I know they're tough decisions. I know that they have a lot to think of. They've got precedent. They've got a lot of things that go into this, but I don't think it's fair.
Back to Gomez for a moment. His appeal could put the Brewers in a very awkward situation. And normally MLB takes a long time to decide suspensions. Appeals of suspensions, I should say. But if they decide quickly on this one and they uphold the suspension for this weekend, it's Carlos Gomez bobblehead day Sunday. He could be suspended for his own bobblehead day. More on the suspensions and the Brewers' reaction later in the show. We are live at Miller Park. Kevin Holden, CBS 58 News.
At least he'll be there in spirit. Thanks, Kevin. As we told you last night at 10, ESPN now reporting the new owners of the Bucks do have an out in their sale agreement that allows them to sell the team back to the NBA if no new arena is built here. And tonight, Mayor Tom Barrett says he's not troubled at all by that fine print.
No. I think it's a good thing that we have this positive change, and I'm looking for more good things to come.
Prospective new owners Mark Lasry and Wesley Edens have pledged at least $100 million toward that new arena. Herb Cole is pitching in with an additional $100 million. The final price tag, though, is expected to be upwards of $500 million. And it's believed that some form of public funding will be needed. To many, it's something of a sacred community program to stop violence in Milwaukee, the Ceasefire Sabbath. Yet critics are speaking out just as the city prepares for the event this year. The goal has always been to rally neighborhood efforts to fight gun violence, like last night's double fatal shooting near 42nd and Villard. Now the Sabbath, like the issue of gun violence itself, is under some heavy scrutiny. CBS 58's Lane Kimball is live downtown with both sides. Lane?
And Michelle, Police Chief Ed Flynn compares reducing violence in Milwaukee to running a marathon. He says it takes time, dedication, and a lot of outreach. But at least one lawmaker thinks the mayor's annual anti-violence push continues to fall short of the finish line.
This is ground zero.
Pastor Don Darius Butler's church sits right in the middle of a crime-filled Milwaukee neighborhood.
You bring together what is almost like a perfect storm for this to be the expression of people's hopelessness and despair.
That's why he was proud to support Mayor Tom Barrett's call for church leaders to help promote the Ceasefire Sabbath, slated to start next month.
Churches, civic organizations, community institutions, we all have to say, at some point, no more of this.
The week of May 12th through the 18th will mark the 10th year of the event. That includes activities, forums, and this year, a gun buyback program at Butler's church, paid for by private businesses.
If we can have 10 fewer shootings as a result of this, that's a huge win.
Nobody, including the faith community, thinks for a minute the gun buyback program solves the problem. What it does do is draw attention to the problem.
While the city pushes the annual call for peace, skeptics say it's time for a different approach.
He's not offering anything new.
One proposal by Alderman Bob Donovan calls for more cops on the streets and selling city parking structures to pay for them.
We as city officials, I believe, need to offer a little more to our beleaguered residents than prayer services and marches.
There are a lot of easy answers out there, and they're all wrong. All right, the answers are hard, and they're long-term.
For the short term, community leaders are pleased with the small steps.
If we get 2 or 3 dangerous criminals to turn in their guns, I'm happy about that.
And Alderman Donovan will ask his fellow lawmakers to have the city run a study to see how much it could profit from selling the Milwaukee parking garages. Mayor Barrett, by the way, says he's already adding 120 additional police officers this summer. We are live outside police headquarters in downtown Milwaukee. Lane Kimball, CBS 58 News.
Lane, thank you. Ozaukee County Sheriff's deputies are still looking for 16-year-old Joseph Torres. He's accused of firing shots inside a Town of Grafton home while defending his sister from an angry and allegedly violent ex-boyfriend yesterday. No one was hurt, but Torres is considered armed and dangerous. The 24-year-old ex-boyfriend has been released on bond.
The Green Bay Police Department now investigating a bar time incident caught on camera.
What did he do? Why is he getting arrested too now? Why is he getting arrested? You. Hey, Joshua! 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 Oh my God! Why are you? Oh my God!
That cell phone video was recorded early Saturday outside Stirrups Parlor and Saloon in Green Bay. The man who was tackled and punched was getting pretty close to officers and shouting profanities as they were in the process of making an arrest. Green Bay police say their professional standards division is now investigating.
From the CBS 58 Weather Center. Now, your complete First Alert weather with Mark McGinnis.
Well, I know it was cooler, but I resisted wearing a jacket. I refuse to go back on spring.
Okay, so you're gonna. How long have you been inside? A couple hours now? I don't know if you know this, the lake breeze kicked in. We've dropped 11 degrees just within the last hour and a half. So, yeah, we got some chill in the air. In fact, we're talking frosty temperatures overnight tonight, Michelle. Can the coat be delivered to you during the evening hours? 46 right now at Mitchell International Airport. We have fair skies and east wind at 8 miles an hour. The wind was northwest all the way until about 4 o'clock, and it made it so nice with temperatures in the 50s, comfortable enough that you didn't need the coat. Now you do. Lakeside, it's 50 in Sheboygan, in the 40s, Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha, and guess what? All those locations have an east wind. Lake water temperatures, Lake Michigan, still 37, 38 degrees out on the open water. Everybody else has a northwest wind, and that's why it's a little bit warmer inland where you saw all those 50s. Let's take you in a little bit closer. Milwaukee County, Glendale's down to 45 degrees, 44 in Cudahy, 49 in Greendale, 55 West Dallas, Brown Deer. So again, that east wind trying to move in through all of Milwaukee County. Out in Waukesha County, it's in the mid to upper 50s, so a little more comfortable. Here's what you can expect this evening as you're headed out. 46 degrees at 6 o'clock. By midnight tonight, we're down to 37 degrees under clear to fair skies, and it's a cold night ahead. Look at this. We're going to find some below freezing temperatures by tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. We're talking not only frosty, but maybe even some upper 20s in some communities to kick off tomorrow morning. So your first alert forecast for tonight is a chilly one, frosty one, under mostly clear skies, 33 degrees, the overnight low with light and variable winds. So let's track the weather overnight tonight. Clear skies, light winds. That allows us to cool down into tomorrow morning. Sunshine for a few hours on your Wednesday, and then the clouds just come right on into the area. We're dry for your evening commute, but the rain's not that far away. Look for rain showers to move in Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. They look light, but they'll pick up on Thursday. So during the afternoon, we'll find the rain a little more steady here in southeastern Wisconsin. And during the course of your Thursday afternoon, we could have some locations upwards of ½ an inch of rain. So tomorrow, after a sunny start, look for clouds to move in. A high temperature, cool, 47 degrees. Scattered showers on Thursday, 55. Friday's looking like the best day there, 64 degrees, before the temperatures cool back down for the weekend.
All right, thanks, Mark. Still ahead at 5, police in one Wisconsin community now cracking down on new ride-sharing services like Lyft and Uber.
Plus, a special guest on Letterman tonight, a preview of what's to come for the talk show. That's next at 5.